we talking about today? Know the math. What are you talking about, Doug? So it's a really interesting topic, in my opinion, and hopefully we'll get to some objections in the close. I want to think about it and all that nonsense that we deal with on a day-to-day basis. That's all fun, right? But knowing the math is so important. You can literally set your watch to it. And the crazy thing about the way that this works is when the numbers are really small, they don't make much sense. But as you get these numbers larger, they start making a whole lot of sense. And it's like, wow, I'll have to show you what I mean. Okay. So if you guys are in a position, I like for y'all to write some of these numbers down as I calculate them for you. Okay. So we did lately, we've been pulling a report on how many leads each individual gets on a weekly basis versus their production weekly, monthly, and we've been tracking it a little bit. We're still kind of in the early stages of actually like really focusing on it. Probably it's my fault. We should have been focusing on this way long ago, but in some earlier stages. So we haven't really got the exact number, but $150 to $200 has been the average premium per lead. Write this word down, PPL, premium per lead, across the entire organization. Now, that includes lower producers that are just starting out, and it also includes top producing agents like Rachel Boatwright, and it averages all that stuff together. Now, when I take out the low, and the top, and I do an average of the more bulk of everything, guys, I'm still around $250 per person. That's what the average was. If I take out like the top 10% and the bottom 10% and I average that middle 80%, I'm around $250 of premium per lead. But some of these numbers I want to do different categories, and I want to show you guys that no matter what, you could be profitable. And it just comes down to one thing, is working some more leads. Okay? So let's just say if you had a $150 premium per lead, okay? Someone like Bianca or Rachel, just to give you guys a little bit of a know, they're about $500-$600 premium per lead. It's sick. It's insane, right? There's people like Shingai. This will even blow your mind. Her premium per lead is over $1,000. Let that settle in, for just a second. It's insane how high you can get them to be. But in the beginning, I know factually that Shingai's was nowhere near $1,000. I know Bianca's wasn't and Rachel's wasn't either. But you grow into that. But I'm still going to base these numbers and this math, right, on if the numbers don't change, right? So we're going to do $150 premium per lead at 10 leads a week, okay? Now I'm going to do an average of $45 per lead. Knowing you're going to get some live transfers, some Facebook and this, that, whatever, right? So if we do 10 leads times $150, that gives us $1,500 in annualized production. Y'all with me?
Yes.
Okay. What would I do without you, Ramon?
I don't know.
Okay. So now, obviously, most people are starting off on a 90% commission.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Over the course of the year, you're going to get to a 95. You're definitely going to get to 100. Right. But I'm just going to say that 80%, that you're going to get paid out 80% commission, because some are going to be a little bit lower. It's only a couple of deals. 80% commission is $1,200 in gross commission to yourself, first year commission. Follow me? Now we get a 60% advance. Some of you got a 75. So your number will be a little bit higher, but we're going to go based on a 60% advance. That's $720 in net, or kind of gross net, I'll say, commission to you, advance commission. If I deduct out $450, I now have a profit that week of $270.
Correct.
If I do that every week for a year, I just profited $14,040 for the year. That's, that I just lost, forget the math. Hold on. The 270 times 52.
Right.
Okay. Now I'm going to take that same scenario and I'm going to increase it to 20 leads.
Right.
So 20 times 150 gives me 3,000 in commission or 3,000 in AP at 80% contract at a 60% advance. That's 1440 in first year advance commission minus $900 is 540 net commission deposited that week. You do that every week for a year, you're making $28,080.
Right.
Getting a little bit better.
Yep.
Now, here's one thing that'll blow your mind real quick. Do you really think that your premium per lead is going to stay at 150 if you did that every single week for a year? Hell no. It's going to be much higher than that. Just so I could show you guys, if you were to take 20 leads at $250 premium per lead, which should be everybody's target. That should be your goal. Like that 5,000, 250 needs to be your target. That's 5,000 in annualized production off of 20 leads on an 80% commission, 60% advance, minus $900 worth of leads. That's $1,500 a week times 52 weeks a year. You're making 80 grand a year net.
Simple as that.
Your 1099 is over 100 grand. You're netting $78,000.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Just by getting those 20 leads. Now, if I'm going to get 30, basically what I'm doing here, guys, everything is doubling. Now, if I follow the system that we preach, which is 40 leads a week at $150 premium per lead is $6,000 in annualized production times 80% commission times 60% advance minus, what does that number work out to be? 1,800 is 1,080. 52 weeks a year is $56,000 a year. On the lowest low end of premium per lead.
Yeah. Crazy.
Same number, 40 times 250 is $10,000 times 80% commission times 60% advance. I just broke my
Can I ask a question, Doug?
Give me a second. 40 leads times 250 times 80% commission times 60% advance minus the 1,800 is $3,000 in net income every week at 52 weeks out of the year, and you're making $156,000 a year.
Yep.
And your premium per lead is going to get incrementally better, a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here, a little bit there. But it doesn't make a difference, guys, because all it comes down to is working the leads. And the same thing goes when you're growing and building your business. Like we were just busting Dana's chops for just a second, and I knew the number. You see how quickly I knew that number? Oh, why is it not 148? I said, well, all you got to do is work 1,000 more leads. Right? Because in my mind, our average is 150 premium per lead. I knocked this down to $100 premium per lead because I always like to do more so the results and the targets are guaranteed. $100 premium per lead, 1,000 leads is $100,000 in annualized production. So if you want to do $100,000 in annualized production this month, whether you're by yourself, with one person, 10 agents, or whatever the case may be, you know you can do it. Any one of you can. All you got to do is work 1,000 leads. You can either work those 1,000 leads all by yourself. You can lock yourself in a room for 30 days and work 1,000 leads. Or you can find 5 people to work 20 leads, or 4 people to work 25, or 2 to work 50, or whatever, or 3 to work 33 and a third. You could split it up however you want to work, but all you have to do is make sure that 1,000 leads are worked this month, and you and your organization will issue $100,000 of annualized premium. Guaranteed. There's no maybes. Look at Corey, what Corey's been able to accomplish. I guarantee you Corey knows this math very, very well, because there's no way that you can get to where he has gotten to so quickly with not knowing this type of math. And then once you know the math and once you really settle into a really good premium per lead, What does it now come down to? All it comes down to is, how much money do I want to make this week? How much money do I want to make this month, this year? How much production do I want to write? How much production do I want my team to write? That's all it comes down to once you get the real good averages. And folks, you got to be well below $100 premium per lead. I did some numbers the other day where a guy had $110 premium per lead for the week, and he was still profitable. Wasn't that profitable, but guess what? He was still profitable. And we have to get our minds out of thinking like employees, guys. And we got to start thinking like a business owner. We have to be willing to invest our time, our effort, our energy, our finances into this business. And folks, we got to be patient with it sometimes. All the time. You know, if you're opening up a restaurant or investing into real estate or investing into coins or investing into buying and selling golf clubs or socks or whatever, if you're in the business of buying things and selling them, you still have to put money in, and you're not going to get a return back instantly. Because you got to find people to buy your product. You got to market them. You got to store them. You got to mail them. Whatever you got to do, you got to sit on them for a minute. Whatever you got to do. But profit, folks, doesn't happen instantly. You want to be a doctor, you go to school for, 8 years and spend probably $1 million in schooling to become a doctor, to where all you got to do is just start working 40 leads a week and you can make more money than any doctor would ever make. Do you know how much of an amazing financial position you would be in if, instead of going to school or anything like that, over the next 8 years, all you did was work 40 leads a week, 52 weeks a year times 8? Do you know what your income would look like at that time? You would truly earn while you learn, truly, instead of paying for it. And I'm not saying don't go to school and things like that, but well, maybe I am saying don't go to school. What's the point? If I knew what I had here, I would have never went to school, because they don't really teach. They didn't teach me in school what I needed to learn in order to be successful in life. I wish they would have taught me about how to invest my money and what to do when I get something, and how to hold on to it, and how to make it work for me. How to sell, how to build relationships with people, how to understand how people think. That's what I would have loved to learn in school. Instead, I learned how to do long division and calculus and whatever, and who the 15th president of the United States is. Well, man, I could just Google it now and it tells me in 30 seconds. You know, why do I need to memorize who all the presidents were and this, that, and the other deal when I can ask Siri in 30 seconds? She'll tell me everything, less than 30 seconds, instantly. Why do I need to learn how to do long division and how to do all these fancy multiplication deals when I could just take out a calculator and do it in 2 seconds? Like, in real life, you're allowed to cheat. Like, we're allowed to be resourceful. Maybe that's the better word. You know, I'll ask you guys, are you being resourceful? Like, we have all the cheat codes. Ramon's got the cheat code. David's got the cheat code. Donaldo's got the cheat code, guys. Ronald's got everybody's name that you see that we talk about on a daily basis. Folks, we got the cheat codes. Remember that video game back in the day, the up, down, left, right, da, 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 whatever it was? We got the cheat codes to being financially free, and it's a little thing called premium per lead. That's all that it is. It's premium per lead. You should never be scared of buying any leads ever if you know this math. There's going to be weeks, folks, where you're not as profitable as you are some other weeks. Absolutely. There's been time in this business where I didn't pay myself before. It happens. You know, you talk to any business owner in America today, and there have been weeks or months where they did not pay themselves. Some weeks are better than others. It is what it is, but it only works, and these numbers only work. The math only works. The averages only works when you do it consistently over time. And when I say consistently, guys, I don't mean a couple of weeks. I'm talking about a couple of years. Forget about giving me 90 days, guys. Give me 9 years. Give yourself a real chance, folks. I guarantee you that you will be where I am. Well, you'll be way further than where I am. Folks, these are all things that I wish that people talked and told me, about early on. No one ever took the time to really explain these types of things for me. I kind of already knew it because I was just working as many leads as possible. So I was already doing that part. I just didn't understand why. Folks, but get to know that math. Start doing things that's going to be bringing you closer towards your goals. Stop doing things that's going to be bringing you further away. I sent out an email the other day about role playing daily. It's so funny too. I get this one email back. I've been in the financial industry for 21 years. There's nothing you can show me how to role play. I'm like, dude, why do you even take time to respond to me? You retard. This is ridiculous. I was almost going to email him back and tell him what I really wanted to say, but I'm like, you know what? He's like, take me off your list. Dude, what's wrong with people? But like, role playing is a big key to success, guys. Huge. You look at every single, say, professional athlete, what's the first thing that they do when they're getting ready to practice or have a game? They warm up. Folks, we got to get better. I don't care who your name is, and I'm not saying this to pick on y'all, but if you're Rachel Boatwright or Crystal or Shingai, whatever the top producers were this week, yes, even you need to role play on a daily basis. Probably you need to role play more than other people do, because sometimes what happens is when you start doing good, you think that you can't do anything wrong. And you need to be getting in that groove and continually to keep sharpening that knife and sharpening that axe and working on your tools, because I'm sure you guys have all sat there before and be like, man, I just don't know. I can't pinpoint where I'm messing up. It's because you're not role playing. You're not doing anything different. You're not talking to your leadership. You're not talking to your mentorship. You're not talking to, people that are more successful than you. You're just picking up the phone and calling the next person, when you should be debriefing each call. What went right? What went wrong? What can I work on? What am I going to do to get better at this? Who can I role play with? What can I do? Folks, if you're not doing this and you're not progressing, this is a big reason why. You see, Jen said, man, Doug, I used to listen to that presentation you did when you're talking to yourself. Do you know how many times I've talked to myself in this business, guys? Like, too many. Like, meaning role play with myself against the mirror and look at it. I wish I had a camera with me. Probably should have the whole time. I just didn't know, But role playing needs to be a part of everybody's day. When we're done here now, you should all pick up the phone. I hope all of you have a accountability partner. A lot of your accountability partners should be your direct upline anyways, but maybe you have some other people, which is awesome too. I had 3 people that I would go to every single day and debrief every call. Man, you guys have the biggest gift that people would love to try to duplicate, but they can, and that's the virtual call centers. Like, you hang up with a phone call, you got 20, 30, 40 people, depending on how many different rooms that y'all are in and things of that nature, where you could just jump on and say, hey, Rita, did you hear what just happened? Hey, what would you do differently? Can you help me? This and that, and use all of us to help each other out. Hey, Rita, would you mind just jumping into a breakout room with me real quick and role playing for 5 minutes? You think she's going to say no to you? That's all the types of things that we got to do throughout the day to really, 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 get better. Like I said a couple weeks ago, don't come to work to just work. Come to work to prosper. Come to work to get better. Come to work to win. And I promise y'all, if y'all make a decision today to be better every day than you were the day before, there is nothing that can stop you in this world. And it all starts at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time on these conference calls and taking notes. You know, I can see everybody's camera and who's paying attention or not. You got people on the phone, people got their cameras blocked, you know, people don't have their cameras on, people that are driving, not writing things down, this, that, and the other. Like, when are y'all going to take, and some of you, when are you going to take your opportunity here and your career serious? I challenge each one of you to take what you learned today, figure out what your math is, and go win. And if you don't understand the math, like every single manager that's on this call, every single manager that's in your upline knows this math and would be more than happy to go over it with you, help you see what your number is, and come up with a game plan to reach whatever level that you want to reach, whatever level of success. Folks, I appreciate all of you do every day. Even though a week is in, it's almost like we have a whole month left in August. We literally have 4 like full weeks left, with exception to a Friday, left in this month. So we got a huge head start. If there was a month that y'all want to do something special, this is the month to do it. You know, David's got an incentive doing a mastermind meeting in Puerto Rico for his team, for the top producing agent. You know, I know Blake's excited because he don't have his passport yet, so that's kind of like going out of the country, but not really. You know, so he's pumped up about that. Blake's at 19,000 already for the month. It's not even the first week, ain't even over yet. You know, folks, this is the month. Let's make it happen. Let's ignite something special and fuel the momentum that we're going to need going into the latter part of this year. Summer vacation's over, guys. Blink. People are back in school today. There's kids back at school at their bus stops today. You blink another eye, it's going to be Christmas. You blink another night, New Year's. And then all of a sudden we're here in, what year is it? 2024 it'll be? 5? I don't even know. It'll be the next year. But guys, thank y'all so much. Have a great day. Hope you learned something today. And I'll see y'all later. Take care, guys.
Thank you.